Hello all, in this video I'll explain about linear inequalities. So before going to linear inequalities, let's define what is meant by an inequality. The definition of an inequality goes like this. Two real numbers or two algebraic expressions related by the symbol less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to forms an inequality. For example, 3 less than 5 minus 2 greater than minus 6. So these are called as numerical inequalities because we involve only numbers. Literal inequality is nothing but here some variable or some literal can also be involved, like x is less than 4, y is greater than or equal to 1. So here we involved the symbol less than, here also less than, greater than, here greater than or equal to. So any expression or any two real numbers, they are related by the symbol less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, they form always an inequality. If there is only equal sign, then it is called as an equation. Now, linear inequality means the power of the variable involved is always equal to 1. The degree of the variable involved is always equal to 1. So, linear inequality in one variable is given as like this: x is less than 7. 3x plus 5 greater than or equal to minus 2. So, this is called as linear inequality in one variable. Linear inequality in two variables, x plus y greater than or equal to 2 and 3x minus 2y less than 5. So, these are called as linear inequalities in two variables. So, linear inequality means the highest power of the variable involved is always equal to 1, or the degree of the variable involved is always equal to 1. Now let's see how to solve a linear inequality. There are certain rules while solving a linear inequality. Let us see which are those rules. The first condition is that value of variable which makes inequality a true statement. So that is called as solution. First, before stating the rule, let us see what is meant by a solution of a linear inequality. It is the value of the variable which satisfies the given inequality, which makes inequality a true statement. So now in this case, numerical inequality, we nothing to find nothing to prove here, or no need to find the solution because they are all true statements, either true or false. Whatever given, we have to identify and state them. But in the case of these literal inequalities, x is less than 4, x can take any value. Whichever number less than 4 can also be a solution for this kind of inequality. So that is called a solution of a linear inequality. Value of the variable which makes an inequality a true statement is called as its solution. Say for example, x less than 5, x belongs to n. You know which are natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So now you have to find a natural number which is less than 5. Then that becomes a solution of this linear inequality. Solutions are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So they will specify what x is. If x is not explicitly specified, in that case x is always considered a real number. So now let's see what are the rules to solve a linear inequality. The first rule is that adding a constant on both sides of the inequality or subtracting a constant from both sides of the inequality doesn't change the sign of the inequality. Example, 3 is less than 5. Add 2 on both sides. 3 plus 2 is less than 5 plus 2. You know that this is a true statement. 3 is obviously less than 5. I am adding 2 on both sides. That gives you 3 plus 2, it's 5, and 5 plus 2, it is 7. So 5 is less than 7. Yes, it is true. So it won't change the sign of the inequality. Similarly, subtract 2 from both sides. 3 minus 2, it is 1, and 5 minus 2, it is 3. 1 is less than 3. That's also true. When you add or subtract a constant, same constant from both sides of an inequality, the inequality will not change. It will remain same. Now, one more rule is, if you multiply by a constant, means positive constant, on both sides of the inequality, or divide by a positive constant, same positive constant on both sides of an inequality, then inequality will remain same. So let me multiply 2 on both sides. 3 2 is 6, 5 2 is 10. 3 is less than 5, 6 is less than 10. Both are true. Now divide 2 on both sides. Divide by 2 on both sides. So 3 by 2 is less than 5 by 2. That's also true. Now the third rule is that if you multiply by the same negative number on both sides of the inequality, then the inequality reverses. Let's see how it happens. 3 is less than 5. Let me multiply by minus 2 on both sides. Minus 6, you will get 5 minus 2 is a minus 10. You know that minus 6 is bigger than minus 10. So here, if you continue with the same inequality, then it becomes a false statement. So that shouldn't happen here. 3 is less than 5, the truthness should continue. So minus 6 is greater than minus 10. So whenever you multiply by a negative constant term on both sides of the inequality reverses. If it is less than, it becomes greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So that way it changes. If you divide by a same negative constant on both sides of the inequality, in that case also it reverses. You can see here 3 by minus 1 less than 5 by minus 1, then inequality should reverse after dividing by minus 1. So inequality reverses. One more rule you can add here. Taking the reciprocal, both are positive or both are negative. Here the condition is that either the taken real numbers, either they should be are of same sign, you can say. Either they should be both positive or both negative. So if you have two real numbers which are both positive or both negative, so in that case, if you take the reciprocal, then the inequality reverses. 3 is less than 5, this we know. 1 by 3 is greater than 1 by 5. You know that as numerator increases, value decreases. So definitely 1 by 3 should be bigger than 1 by 5. The main condition is that both should be of same sign. Because if you take 1 negative, 1 positive, minus 3 is less than 5. This is true. If you take the reciprocal, minus 1 by 3 is greater than 1 by 5. This is not true. This is false. So the condition is either both are positive or both are negative. So these are the rules while solving a linear inequality. These rules we have to keep in mind while solving the problems involving linear inequalities. Let's see how to solve the problems. The first one, solve minus 12x is greater than 30. This is the given linear inequality. We have to find out all those values of x which will make the given inequality a true statement. There are three cases. X can take different values when it's a natural number, when it's an integer, and when it's a real number. What you should do is, let us divide throughout by minus 12. Let us divide both sides of the inequality by minus 12. So minus 12x by minus 12 is, you know that when you divide by a negative number, inequality reverses. 30 by minus 12. So this cancels, x is less than minus 2.5. So when x belongs to n, you have to search for a natural number which is lesser than minus 2.5. You know that natural number set starts with the 1, 2, 3 and so on. It starts with 1. There is no natural number which is lesser than 1. Impossible. It's something negative here. Lesser than negative, impossible. So no solution. It's an empty set. When x is an integer, let's see how the solution set is. Integer less than minus 2.5 is nothing but minus 3, minus 4, minus 5 and so on. When x is a real number, so in that case what we should do is, we can't list like real numbers in the roster form, so we have to go with the interval form. Less than, you know how the number line looks. Number line is like this. So 0, minus 1, minus 2 and here 1, 2 and so on. So here it is minus 3, here comes minus 2.5. Something less than minus 2.5 means minus infinity. Starting from minus infinity till minus 2.5. Here it is strict inequality. So that also I have to mention. These inequalities are called as strict inequalities, and less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, these are called as slack inequalities. These are strict inequalities. No possibility of equalism here. Here not here, just strictly less than minus 2.5. So you have to put an open interval. If it is less than or equal to, in that case you can put closed interval and end point you can include. But here in this case, in this example, end point is excluded. So on the number line, if you want to represent the solution, that is possible only in the case of real number line, because number line x belongs to n, no solution. X belongs to z also. Number line we can't mark it continuously. We have to bubble the integers like minus 3, minus 4, minus 5 and so on. We will take it only for real line, real numbers. So it's minus 2 here, starting from minus 2.5 all these values will satisfy the inequality. Say for example, minus 12 into, you take any number like minus 12 into minus 3, okay, minus 36. Here you will get solve the inequality. So plus 36, sorry. Minus minus plus greater than 30. So this is a true statement. So minus 3, minus 4, whatever the values you substitute here, it makes a true statement. Hence, that is called as solution of the linear inequality. Now, the second question is, suppose, I have not written the question here, suppose there is a person who has scored 70 and 75 in first two tests. Okay, and he obtains average should be greater than or equal to 60, at least 60. Average should be at least 60. So what must be the mark in the final third exam? What must be the marks in third test? So suppose a boy writes a test and he has to write 3 tests. In the first 2 tests, the marks obtained are 70 and 75. So the boy wishes to get average at least 60, minimum 60, maybe more than that. So what must be the marks, minimum marks that the boy should obtain in the third test to get an average of at least 60? This is the question. Okay. So we don't know the marks in the third test. Let us name the marks in the third test as x. So we know the formula to calculate average, all the 3 marks divided by 3 tests, 70 plus 75 plus x divided by 3. So here it is given that average should be, to get the average, at least 60, at least in the sense greater than or equal to, always. So because minimum 60, maybe more than 60, not a problem, but minimum it should be 60, like greater than or equal to 60. So write the formula for average here, 70 plus 75 plus x divided by 3 greater than or equal to 60. Solve the inequalities multiplying by 3 on both sides. 6 3s are 18, okay, 180 you will get. 70 plus 75, 145. So subtract 145 on both sides. So x is greater than or equal to 180 minus, no sign change here. So x is greater than or equal to 35. So the minimum marks to be secured in the third test is 35 to get an average of at least 65. So this is a one word sentence problem where inequalities concept is included. Let us solve one more, last problem. Solve 2x minus 1 divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 3x minus 2 divided by 4 minus 2 minus x divided by 5. So keep the LHS as it is until you simplify the RHS. So 5 4s, 20 is the LCM, multiply by 5 and here multiply by 4. So 5 into 3x minus 2 minus 4 into 2 minus x. So 2x minus 1 divided by 3 greater than or equal to 5 3 is 15x minus 5 2 is 10. 4 2 is 8 minus minus plus 4x divided by 20. Now do the cross multiplication. We can go all with the usual method of solving equation. We can apply that for inequalities also. It is nothing but cross multiplication is nothing but first multiply by 3 on both sides, then multiply by 20 on both sides. So it takes a lot of time to write all those steps here. So you can skip the steps and you can directly do the cross multiplication. It's 22 is 40x minus 20 greater than or equal to, simplify this. So you will get 3 into 15 plus 4, 19x minus 18. So 40x minus 20, 19 3 is 57x minus 54. This gives you minus 20 plus 54 greater than or equal to 57x minus 40x. 17x less than or equal to 34. So I have not changed the inequality. Inequality didn't get reverse here. I am just writing this first, this next. That you know that x is less than y means y is greater than x. Both are one and the same. Just the writing format is different. That's what I have written here. 57 minus 40x. This I have written first. Then this towards 57 minus 40x, it is this less than symbol, less than or equal to 34, x is less than or equal to 2. So now you have to write all possible solutions. So you know the number line, this is 0, this is minus 1, this is 1 and 2. Less than 2 means all the real numbers which are lesser than 2. So starting from minus infinity till 2, it's a slack inequality because equal to is also possible. So you have to include the endpoints. So that is how we will solve the problems related to linear inequalities. I hope you understood the concept. Thank you for watching. In the next video, I'll come up with the solving the linear inequalities graphically. Thank you for watching.